Hello everyone, welcome back to Storekeep Farmstead. So my name is Samantha. I am the co-owner and operator of a 2-acre farmstead here in Southeast Louisiana. Folks, it's getting so good. Everybody knows that the fires in Lahaina Maui, part of Hawaii, were blamed on the Hawaiian electric company. Everybody was like, oh, it was Hawaii Electric's fault. Folks, guess what just happened? The Hawaii Electric Company said, you have left us no choice. They filed back some paperwork in open court that claims it is the Maui County's fault, that the fire has claimed 101 lives by their estimate. Nobody really believes that. And it's due to the fact that they did not openly communicate properly. All the police, all the first responders, all the firefighters were on multiple channels. Nobody knew what channel to talk on. Mayor Bisson basically sat on his hands and twiddled his thumbs, folks, pretty much doing nothing. The governor was gone. The MEMA guy, the head of all of that, was gone, and Dias. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. Hawaii Electric has had enough. They have had thousands of lawsuits put against them because instead of focusing on getting people help, right? Remember when the fire first happened, you saw TikToks and Instagrams and YouTubes of people helping people. Coming from around the island in boats, bringing in supplies. Why? Because the Maui government was so focused on blaming Hawaii's electric company for the fires rather than helping people. They weren't worried about helping, they were worried about blame. It all became a blame game. Whose fault was it? Well, Hawaii Electric says it was Maui County's because of, and it does make a lot of sense, lack of communication, proper communication, proper leadership, folks. And that's provable in all the reports that have come out. They did a terrible job there. Invasive species of plants because of the water wars. Remember, we've done plenty of videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a water war going on in Maui. There is not enough water to support the golf courses and all these huge hotels and all these hundreds of thousands of people visiting the island every year, plus the indigenous people and the locals. Simply not enough water. So they didn't have the proper firefighting equipment. They didn't have the proper water system set up. They had terrible communication during and after the fire. They had no leadership. They had no leadership, folks. And then they had all this dry invasive species of plants that Maui County, they weren't cutting it regularly. They weren't out there taking care of it, getting away from the power lines like they're supposed to. Then they claimed that the early morning fire of August 8th was completely and totally put out. Now that fire has been proven to come from a down power line. The firefighters left. They said it's out, it's done, we're finished. Remember, there were 3 other fires burning the night before on August 7th and on August 8th during the day in upcountry, up the mountain, totally away from Lahaina. Whose fault are those fires? That's my point. This whole time, it has been a let's go get the electric company. Let's go after the electric company. Read these reports I'm putting above my head. Read what some of this stuff says, folks, for yourself. It's a blame game. That's all this ever has been. Maui County did not want the blame on them. Now, I have told you guys over and over that $162 million has been raised through the main fundraising platform for Maui County through the government and their nonprofit. Now, that $162 million has been broken up and given to other nonprofits, not to the fire victims. That's money that you helped raise. Then you've got, I think it was Zuckerberg and Bezos and Oprah claiming over 115 million to be raised, and nobody knows where that money is either. Guys, that's $280 million raised for less than 10,000 fire victims. These people could have paid their property off, rebuilt their homes, bought a vehicle, rebuilt their businesses, all of their furnishings, and there would be no need for any of this continual suing and everything else. But the problem is the money has never made it to the victims. Everybody's still trying to figure out whose fault the fires were. Well, if you've watched me for any period of time, you all know who I think the fire's fault is, right? I think this was intentional to build a 15-minute city. And if you go and look, they finally issued the very first building permit to a fire victim, and it cost those people over $3,000 to get those permits. Come June 10th, the pink slips have already been handed out. Victims will be kicked out of their hotels. Folks, this is no joke. Stephen and I are going back to Maui August 1st through the 11th, 2024, to meet with His Majesty, the Hawaiian King, to learn about the sovereignty issues, about Hawaii becoming its own country again. And on top of that, we will be there for the 1-year anniversary of the fires to talk to fire victims and pass out money. If you'd like to help donate to those fire victims, I'm going to link in the top of comments how you can do that. This is the biggest cover-up ever, folks, and it's only getting worse. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I've got a lot to do. Love you guys. Talk to you later.